The breaking point. The grand chamber of the Galactic Federation glittered with the light of 1,000 stars, its massive crystalline dome reflecting the faces of over 300 species. Captain Elena Reyes of Earth stood tall despite her exhaustion, the blue and gold uniform of the Earth Space Command pressed and perfect despite her 3-day journey to reach Centauri Prime, the Federation's capital. "The motion from Earth is denied," announced High Chancellor Vexlar, his gelatinous form pulsing with bioluminescence. 6 of his eye stalks focused on Elena while the others scanned the room. "The Federation cannot authorize the use of gravitational manipulation technology to divert the asteroid. The risk of misuse is too great." Elena fought to keep her voice steady. "High Chancellor, with all due respect, we're talking about a 30-kilometer asteroid on direct collision course with Earth's moon. The resulting debris would devastate our planet. We have 18 days before impact." "The Federation's evacuation protocols are clear," said Councillor Drell, a mantis-like being whose chitinous exoskeleton clicked with each gesture. "Earth has sufficient resources to evacuate critical personnel and genetic samples to your Mars colony." "Evacuate? We're talking about billions of lives." Elena's voice echoed across the chamber. "The technology exists. The Arcturus contingent used it 3 cycles ago to redirect a comet from their homeworld." "The Arcturus are Tier 1 members," Vexlar stated coldly. "Earth is still Tier 3, despite your persistence." Elena felt something inside her break. For 80 years, humanity had played by the Federation's rules. They'd shared their culture, their art, their unique perspective on the universe. They'd fought in Federation conflicts, provided resources and personnel, and endured the condescension of elder species who viewed humans as impulsive children, always with the promise that one day they would be granted full membership rights. And now billions would die because of arbitrary rules. She tapped a sequence into her wrist communicator. Across the chamber, the 30 other human representatives received the same message. "Invoke Protocol Omega." "Confirm." One by one, their confirmations appeared on her screen. The final one was from Admiral Isaac Chen, commander of Earth's orbital defense grid. "Confirmed. May God help us all." Elena squared her shoulders. "High Chancellor, members of the Galactic Federation, I have an announcement. The matter is closed, Captain Reyes," Vexlar said dismissively. "No, it isn't." Elena's voice cut through the chamber. "As of this moment, by unanimous agreement of Earth's appointed representatives, and with the full authority of the United Earth Government, I hereby declare Earth's complete withdrawal from the Galactic Federation." The chamber erupted in chaos. Some representatives leaped to their feet, others emitted high-pitched sounds of alarm, and a few of the energy-based beings flickered violently. "Impossible!" shrieked Councillor Drell. "No world has ever left the Federation." "Then we'll be the first," Elena replied, her voice steady. "Effective immediately, all Federation personnel are required to leave Earth space within 48 hours. All human representatives will be returning home immediately." "This is outrageous." Vexlar's form undulated with anger. "You cannot simply leave. There are protocols, treaties, dependencies, all of which you've made clear are one-sided." Elena interrupted. "You've denied us the technology to save our world. Fine, we'll save ourselves. Without Federation protection, without access to our trade routes and technology exchanges, your civilization will collapse within a decade," warned Elder Krith, one of the oldest beings in the Federation whose crystalline form had witnessed the rise and fall of countless civilizations. Elena allowed herself a small smile. "We'll take our chances." As the human contingent stood to leave, Vexlar's voice boomed. "If you do this, there will be no return. Earth will stand alone against a dangerous universe." At the doorway, Elena turned. "We've stood alone before, Chancellor. And now we've learned an important lesson about your Federation. You speak of unity and cooperation, but what you practice is control and hierarchy." She looked around the chamber. "To any other worlds tired of being treated as lesser beings, our doors will be open. The rest of you, stay out of our way." As the human delegation left the chamber, messages flashed across Federation networks. Human diplomats across 1,000 worlds simultaneously announced their departure. On distant outposts, human scientists downloaded what data they could before leaving. Federation security systems detected hundreds of encrypted transmissions to Earth. In Earth orbit, Admiral Chen watched the defensive grid power up to full capacity for the first time. Federation tracking beacons on human ships went dark. Hidden shipyards across the solar system began activating production lines for technologies the Federation had forbidden. Status report, Chen demanded, standing on the bridge of the ESS Defiant. All human personnel are being extracted from Federation space, his second-in-command reported. 97% of our ships have disabled Federation tracking systems. The Deep Space Network has erected information barriers around all our communications. Chen nodded. And Project Prometheus. Ready for deployment in 7 days, sir. If it works. It will work, Chen said firmly. Humanity has been developing tech in secret for decades. We just never had the opportunity to use it. He looked at the main view screen, which showed a simulation of the approaching asteroid. Now we do. Across the galaxy, other species watched in stunned silence as humanity executed the most organized withdrawal in Federation history. The Galactic Council hastily assembled an emergency session, but the damage was done. 3 other Tier 3 civilizations had already begun inquiries about the withdrawal process. The rigid hierarchy that had defined galactic politics for millennia suddenly seemed less permanent. On Earth, citizens watched the skies with a mixture of fear and determination. The Federation had abandoned them to their fate, but humanity had always faced impossible odds. They would survive, and they would remember. 16 days later, as the asteroid approached lunar orbit, a fleet of unmanned ships surrounded it. Energy beams of impossible power sliced the massive rock into manageable pieces, which a series of carefully positioned gravitational devices then redirected into stable orbits. Not debris fields that would threaten Earth, but a ring of new small moons that would later be mined for resources. In the Federation's Grand Chamber, the representatives watched in shocked silence as their sensors detected energy signatures that should have been impossible for a Tier 3 civilization. How? Whispered Councillor Drell. How did they possess such technology? High Chancellor Vexlar had no answer. For the first time in 10,000 years, the Federation had miscalculated badly. Humanity had not only survived without them, they had revealed themselves to be far more advanced than anyone had suspected. And they were just getting started. The Silent Revolution. 5 years passed since Earth's dramatic exit from the Galactic Federation. Federation analysts had predicted economic collapse within a year, technological regression within 3, and potential extinction-level events within a decade. They could not have been more wrong. Dr. Maya Wong stood on the observation deck of Titan Station, watching the massive harvester ships collecting hydrogen from Saturn's atmosphere. Behind her, Federation Ambassador Zalorix fidgeted nervously. This technology, the ambassador said, his translucent skin revealing the rapid pulse of his circulatory system, it exceeds anything in the Federation's database. Maya smiled. Necessity breeds innovation, Ambassador. When your survival isn't guaranteed by membership in an exclusive club, you learn to solve your own problems. The Federation never intended. The Federation's intentions are irrelevant now, Maya interrupted politely. You're here because you need something from us, so let's skip the diplomatic niceties. Zalorix's skin flushed dark purple, embarrassment in his species. Yes, of course. He handed her a data crystal. This contains all the information we have on the Void Hunters. Maya inserted the crystal into a reader. Holographic images appeared showing sleek, obsidian ships with organic-looking hulls. Footage of attacks on Federation outposts played in sequence, devastating, quick, and methodical. They appeared in the Antares sector 8 months ago, Zalorix explained. They've destroyed 7 Federation worlds, disabled 13 defense stations, and disrupted all trade in the Outer Rim. Our weapons seem ineffective. And you've come to us because... Zalorex hesitated. Because they avoid human space entirely. We've tracked their movements. They could have attacked your colonies on Proxima Centauri and Tau Ceti. Instead, they navigate around your territory, sometimes adding weeks to their journey. Maya studied the attack patterns. You think they're afraid of us. We think they know something we don't, Zalorex admitted. The Federation Council is requesting assistance. Maya couldn't help but laugh. 5 years ago, you refused to help us save our own planet. Now you want our protection. Things have changed, Zalorex said softly. The Federation is reconsidering many of its policies. Your withdrawal caused significant disruption. 12 other civilizations have followed your example. Maya transferred the data to her personal device. I'll bring this to the Earth Defense Council, but I can't promise anything. After Zalorex departed, Maya contacted Earth Command. Admiral Chen's weathered face appeared on the screen. They came to you too, he asked without preamble. Yes. They're desperate. Chen's expression was grim. We've been tracking these void hunters for months. They're unlike anything we've encountered before. Their technology is unusual. Do you think we should help? Chen was silent for a moment. I think we need to understand why they're avoiding us. Assemble a research team. I want to know everything about these attackers before we make any decision. On Earth, the Global Council debated the Federation's request. Captain Alina Reyes, now Earth's Secretary of Defense, stood before them. The Federation abandoned us when we needed them, she reminded the Council. We owe them nothing. This isn't about owing, countered Dr. Sanjay Patel, the Secretary of Science. This is about a threat that could eventually target humanity as well. Better to understand it now, while it's focused elsewhere. There's another consideration, added Ambassador Maria Gonzalez. This is an opportunity to redefine our relationship with the galactic community, not as supplicants, but as equals, perhaps even saviors. The debate continued for days. Meanwhile, across the solar system, humanity had transformed itself. The asteroid that had once threatened Earth had been converted into a ring of orbital platforms. Mars hosted 3 major cities under massive environmental domes. Mining operations on Mercury provided rare elements for advanced technology. Research stations throughout the Kuiper Belt pushed the boundaries of physics and biology. All of it developed independently, without Federation oversight or restriction. Dr. Maya Wong's research team made a breakthrough on day 17 of their investigation. They're not attacking, she told Admiral Chen, excitement evident in her voice. They're harvesting. Explain, Chen demanded, leaning forward. Maya displayed a detailed analysis of the Void Hunters' attack patterns. They're extracting specific frequencies of quantum information from the planets they target. It's like they're feeding on the unique vibrational signatures of advanced civilizations. And they avoid us because we've been using quantum shielding on all our worlds since we left the Federation, Maya explained. The technology we developed to protect Earth from solar flares creates a barrier that masks these frequencies. We're essentially invisible to them. Chen's eyes widened. The same technology the Federation refused to let us deploy 5 years ago. Exactly. And now it might be the key to stopping these creatures. The Earth Council voted unanimously to assist the Federation, but on humanity's terms. A diplomatic team was assembled, led by Alina Reyes herself, to present their conditions to the Galactic Council. When Alina walked back into the Grand Chamber for the first time in 5 years, the silence was deafening. Many of the representatives who had dismissed humanity were gone, replaced by younger, more pragmatic leaders. High Chancellor Vexlar remained, though his once vibrant bioluminescence had dimmed with age and stress. Welcome back, Secretary Reyes, Vexlar said, his voice lacking its former arrogance. I am not back, Chancellor, Alina clarified. I am here to offer assistance against a common threat, provided certain conditions are met. Name them, Vexlar said simply. Elena projected a holographic document. First, recognition of Earth and all human colonies as a sovereign interstellar nation, independent of Federation authority, but allied for mutual defense. Murmurs spread through the chamber, but Vexlar nodded. Second, unrestricted technology exchange. No more tears. No more artificial restrictions. This caused more vocal objections, but Vexlar raised a tentacle for silence. Continue. Third, a seat on the High Council for Earth with equal voting rights. Impossible, shouted Councillor Drell. The High Council seats are determined by millennia of tradition. Traditions can change or die. Elena replied coldly. We have the technology to defeat the Void Hunters. Do you want it or not? The chamber erupted in arguments, but the outcome was inevitable. The Federation needed humanity more than humanity needed the Federation. After 3 days of heated negotiation, all of Earth's conditions were accepted, with the addition of several amendments ensuring gradual implementation. As humanity prepared its defenses against the Void Hunters, a new galactic order was taking shape, one where the oldest civilizations could no longer simply dictate terms to the younger ones. The silent revolution that had begun with Earth's withdrawal was transforming the stars themselves. And the greatest challenge was yet to come. Humanity's stand. The battle group assembled in orbit around Arcturus Prime was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Federation battlecruisers with their elegant flowing lines positioned themselves alongside the angular, brutally efficient human warships. Sleek fighters from a dozen worlds practiced joint maneuvers. At the center of the formation, the ESS Prometheus, Earth's newest flagship, dwarfed everything around it. On its bridge, Admiral Chen surveyed the tactical display with Elena Reyes at his side. The Void Hunters will arrive within 12 hours, he reported. All ships are equipped with the quantum shielding technology. Elena nodded. And the bait? Active and broadcasting. If Dr. Wang's theory is correct, they won't be able to resist. Below them, Arcturus Prime teemed with life. Its 16 billion inhabitants have been told to continue normally. The planet itself was the bait, broadcasting quantum frequencies that would attract the Void Hunters. But unlike previous worlds, this one was protected by humanity's greatest technological achievement, a planetary quantum shield that could be extended at a moment's notice. Dr. Maya Wong entered the bridge, her face tense. We've detected something unusual in the Void Hunters' approach pattern. They're moving faster than before, and in greater numbers. They're hungry, Chen said grimly. They sense a feast. Elena studied the data, or they sense a trap. Either way, Chen replied, they're coming. All we can do now is be ready. The first Void Hunter ships emerged from dimensional space precisely on schedule. Their black hulls seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it, making them appear as moving holes in reality itself. First 5, then 20, then over 100 materialized around Arcturus Prime. They've never gathered in such numbers, Zolorex whispered from his observer position on the bridge. Now, Chen ordered. The quantum shield activated around Arcturus Prime, enveloping the planet in a shimmer of dimensional energy. Simultaneously, every ship in the combined fleet activated their own shields, becoming visible to the Void Hunters for the first time. The reaction was immediate. The Void Hunter ships scattered, their organized formation dissolving into chaos. They didn't expect resistance, Elena observed. They're confused. Phase 2, Chen commanded. From the ESS Prometheus, a pulse of energy rippled outward, not a weapon, but a signal. It carried a complex quantum signature designed by Dr. Wang's team, a message encoded in the very frequencies the Void Hunters consumed. Translation is broadcasting across all known communication channels, an officer reported. The message was simple. We know what you are. We know what you need. There are alternatives to predation. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then, the largest of the Void Hunter vessels changed course, approaching the Prometheus while maintaining a cautious distance. They're responding, Dr. Wang exclaimed, monitoring her instruments. quantum fluctuations consistent with communication attempts. Can we understand them? Elena asked. Working on it, Maya replied, her fingers flying across the interface. Their language is based on quantum state exchanges rather than traditional signals. But there's a pattern. Yes, I'm getting something. The translation appeared on the main view screen, not as text or audio, but as a series of complex mathematical equations and multidimensional models. They're hungry, Maya interpreted. Their species evolved to feed on quantum information generated by intelligent life. They've been traveling between galaxies for millions of years, following the evolution of consciousness. Ask them why they avoided human space, Chen directed. Another exchange of quantum signals followed. They say we taste wrong, Maya said, her brow furrowed in concentration. Our technology shields the quantum signatures they feed on, but it also generates a frequency they find repulsive. It's like we accidentally created the equivalent of a bitter taste to them. Elena leaned forward. Tell them we can help them find sustainable sources of whatever they need without destroying inhabited worlds. The negotiation that followed was unlike any diplomatic exchange in galactic history. It took place in quantum states, mathematical proofs, and energy exchanges rather than words. Federation scientists worked alongside human experts, translating concepts across incomprehensible gulfs of evolutionary development. 3 days later, an agreement was reached. The Void Hunters would be provided with uninhabited planets rich in quantum potential, gas giants, and newly formed worlds where they could feed without destroying sentient life. In exchange, they would share their knowledge of dimensional travel and cosmic evolution spanning billions of years in multiple galaxies. As the Void Hunter fleet departed for the designated feeding grounds, the Federation Council convened an emergency session. High Chancellor Vexlar, looking more diminished than ever, addressed the gathered representatives. For 10,000 years, the Federation has operated on principles established by the founding species. He began. We believed our age gave us wisdom. Our experience gave us authority. We were wrong. Murmurs spread through the chamber as Vexlar continued. Humanity accomplished in 5 years what we failed to do in centuries. They turned enemies into allies. They found solutions where we saw only threats. And they did it without our help. Indeed, despite our hindrance. He gestured to Elena, who stood at the side of the chamber. The time has come for change. I hereby propose the dissolution of the current Federation structure and the establishment of a new galactic alliance, where all sentient species stand as equals regardless of their age or origin. The vote was not unanimous, but it was decisive. The old order had failed its greatest test, while the upstart humans had succeeded. Throughout the chamber, representatives from younger civilizations looked at the humans with new respect, and the elder species with new skepticism. As Elena prepared to return to Earth, Zolorex approached her. You could have let us fall, he said quietly. After how we treated you, no one would have blamed humanity for turning their backs on us. Elena shook her head. That's where you've always misunderstood us. Humanity doesn't thrive on domination or control. We thrive on challenges, on solving problems. Yes, we were angry when you abandoned us. But in the end, that abandonment made us stronger. And now, Zolorex asked, will you rejoin the new alliance? Elena smiled. As equals? Yes. We have much to teach each other. But remember this lesson, Ambassador, never mistake kindness for weakness. Humanity extends its hand in friendship today, but will never again allow ourselves to be vulnerable to the whims of others. As the human ships departed Arcturus Prime, messages spread across 1,000 worlds. The galaxy was entering a new era, one shaped not by the oldest civilizations, but by the actions of its youngest. Humanity had accomplished what no one thought possible. They had left the Federation and forced it to transform itself from the outside. And across the stars, other young species watched and learned an important lesson. Sometimes, to create real change, you have to be willing to stand alone. The day humans left the Galactic Federation was indeed the day the universe changed forever, not because of what humanity lost, but because of what the entire galaxy gained. A new understanding that true wisdom comes not from age, but from adaptability, innovation, and the courage to forge one's own path among the stars.